From KRIS 6 News, this is a live broadcast of the 2018 Buc Days Navy Army Night Parade. Now your hosts from KRIS 6 News Sunrise, Mike Gillespie, Jennifer Lira, and Maglovio Perez.
Hey, welcome back. You are watching live coverage of the 81st Annual Illuminated Night Parade. It's a part of the Buc Days celebration, and folks, from where we are here at Waco and Leopard, that's the view that we have right behind us right now. You can see that the parade is indeed underway.
That's right, it certainly is. Now, Mike, I don't know, it was maybe 10 minutes ago when we saw the Apollo trucking come through Leopard Street and pass by with their horns blaring, and that was the marker for everyone along the parade route to get to your seats, clear Leopard Street, because the floats are officially moving. That Buc Days Parade is officially underway.
And that's good news for a lot of folks, because as we mentioned earlier, if you were with us in our broadcast, a lot of these folks have been camped out here along the parade route, along Leopard Street in particular, since about 5 o'clock yesterday, 5 in the evening. It's a family tradition for many of them to spend the night. A lot of them come out and mark off their spots in the way that police have told them they can do, and then they just kind of have a party all night and all day, and this is the moment they've been waiting for.
Yeah, this definitely is it. And what you've kind of been seeing here in the last couple of minutes is so many different camera angles that we're offering you live views, live perspectives from our KRIS 6 cameras. So we've got all kinds of cameras set up along the parade route. We want to make sure that you don't miss a single float. And Mike, let's just talk about the number of people who are out here tonight. We've been out here for a number of hours. There were already tens of thousands when we arrived this afternoon, and it's just gotten more and more crowded, but everybody seems to be having a great time.
It is, and again, we're fortunate that there are some folks at home right now watching it on TV who, for whatever reason, were not able to make it down here, and we're glad you're here along with us. But I'll tell you what, there's a big chunk of the Coastal Bend that is out here tonight, and as Jennifer mentioned, and as we talked with Corpus Christi Police earlier, it is a well-behaved group. They haven't had any problems down here, just really more of a festive party atmosphere more than anything else, and they're ready to enjoy a good parade, and we're sure that you at home are as well.
And the latest update that we did get from CCPD Lieutenant Chris Hooper when he was here with us not long ago, he told us that so far everything is going smoothly. People are on in good moods. People are on their best behavior, and everybody's out here just to enjoy some family time and enjoy what is sure to be a great night.
All right, we do appreciate our sponsors and them being a part of what we're doing tonight. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to bring you this live broadcast of the parade. It's the first time in many, many years that we've been able to broadcast this live on television. We're also streaming it. If you head over to our website, KRISTV.com, you'll be able to get a good view from there as well.
And of course, we want to say a big thank you to one of our sponsors tonight who's helping to bring us this live broadcast of the Buc Days Navy Army Night Parade. Wouldn't be possible tonight without our wonderful sponsors. So again, thank you to all of them who are helping us out tonight. That includes, of course, Andrews Distributing, Mike. We have mentioned them, so
Oasis
thank you
Motor Company,
to them
also one of our sponsors. And look at that, Navy Army Night Parade. There are some good-looking folks going by there. They are certainly having a good time, not only in the crowd, but as you're going to see tonight, there are lots of people having a good time on the floats as well.
All right, so the Buc Days parades are behind us right now. We are giving you the live look, so there you go. Plenty of people on board that float right there. Now, I'm hoping that our viewers, Mike, can hear the Selena music that is being played. That is being blasted right now from the Navy Army Community Credit Union float. We want to wave and say hello to all of them right now.
That's right. They are kind of leading the way through here and giving everybody a special view of who they are, what they're about, and what they're doing.
All right, so this next float is part of the Las Doñas de la Corte. They're the children.
So
if you see so on one side you see the young men are in their tuxes. On the other side you see the young ladies in their gowns. They're the Las Doñas de la Corte children's float.
And folks, if you were sitting down here near the RTA building, this is the view that you would get. As we mentioned, not only do we have cameras along the parade route, but we also have a camera lifted way up high, and that's the view that you're getting right now. And we see a lot of folks coming through. There's the police department. I imagine Chief Mike Markle is probably in that police car there.
He's definitely part of tonight's parade. We understand also Nueces County Sheriff Jim Kalin is part of the parade. I'm sure we'll see Mayor Joe McComb out here somewhere along the route as well. And Chief Robert Rocha with the Corpus Christi Fire Department, and it is loud, guys.
Yeah, and these are the lucky ones. These are the folks that get to ride along in the parade. There are so many CCPD officers who are actually working the parade tonight as well, and they're doing that because they want to keep everyone safe and make sure that this is nothing but just a great time for the families who have come out to enjoy what it is that we're doing here.
It takes hundreds of police officers and law enforcement officers as a collective unit, a collective force to come out here and just kind of keep things on track, Mike. Again, fortunately, they're telling us so far that people are just out having a great time, but we always do appreciate having the CCPD and the Noise County Sheriff's Department and state troopers out here lending their support to this.
You know, I think some of the people that you'll see as we're coming by here, you'll see Buccaneer Commission President Pat Horn waving there and just greeting the crowd. They are the folks who work so hard to make this happen. So much that goes into the planning and then actually putting on Buc Days. This parade is just a part of it.
And so the people we were seeing just now that were kind of on that balcony, that's the upper level of the RTA building that's right over here at the corner of Staples and Leopard Street. So there's plenty of people. You were actually able to rent a chair over there. So if you didn't want to camp out somewhere along Leopard Street just on the sidewalks, you could have you had an opportunity to go up there as well. There's State Representative Todd Hunter.
We began the day with him this morning, by the way.
We did.
We were at the Casa 5K walk run, and we got a chance to go out there and just help MC that event. And Todd Hunter was out there running. In fact, he was not there to collect his award, but he actually placed in his age group.
He did. That's
he was
correct.
One of the top three there, and so. If you ever wondered about it, Todd Hunter can run.
All right, you see all of Leopard Street lit up with lights all the way down. There are dozens of floats in store for you tonight. We're so glad here at Chris 6 to be able to bring you live coverage. Now, Mike, if I'm correct, my numbers say that there are at least 100 floats that are going to be making their way down Leopard Street tonight.
Well, and it wouldn't surprise me if there were more than that. We have members of the military who are with us. There is, of course, Mayor Joe McComb, who is a part of this, as the mayor takes a big part in the Buc Days tradition every year. In fact, going way back. Hello,
Mayor. Giving us a wave, Mayor.
Going back, giving us the thumbs up for Chris 6. Way to go.
And it was only a couple of days when we saw Mayor McComb have to take the plunge into the Corpus Christi Bay.
That's what I was going to mention. Going all the way back to 1939 when all of this began. It's been a great tradition of the mayors to just go ahead and be involved in everything that happens here. And every one of them has done it willingly. They've done it with a good attitude. And I heard one former mayor say that it's just part of the gig if you're going to be the mayor of Corpus Christi.
Yeah, you know, that's part of the job because people certainly do expect it. It's just so nice to get to be out here on what has turned out to be an absolutely stunning night. We couldn't have asked for better weather here along the parade route. There's no rain. There's a little humidity, but hey, it's Corpus Christi. We know that's going to be the case.
And there's a great breeze out here. You were looking, in fact, you see one of the guys in the white jumpsuits there. They're part of the Buccaneers, and we were talking earlier and found out that they are stationed all along the parade route, and they have some very specific jobs. A part of that is keeping the parade moving at a good pace.
You know, something else we were talking about earlier was whenever you have probably what's easily 100,000 people out here, there's a lot of trash that collects, but the good people with the solid waste department in Corpus Christi, they are going to be out here. They've been out here, number one, for hours. They distributed all kinds of trash bags to make sure.
There's a Hunter.
Yeah, there's a Todd Hunter's son. And so the solid waste department, they put plastic trash bags out here, handed them out to the families so that everybody could clean up after themselves. But they're also going to be here long after the parade ends to get everything cleaned up. So we appreciate their hard work.
We certainly do. Hey, you know, we not only do we have this view up here, but we've got our own Maclovio Perez, who is down there somewhere in the crowd, and anywhere that he goes, there's a crowd of people around him, and he's been having a great time there along the parade route.
And please don't forget that you will get your own look at the Chris 6 News float. This year, our theme was Cinco de Mayo. And Mike, you mentioned earlier how many of these flowers. We have these handmade tissue flowers that are absolutely stunning. And I believe it was something like, 1,200, something along those lines?
handmade that are put on that float, and we hope to be able to bring you that a little bit later on in the parade. Right now, I saw some pirates coming through here, and that's a big part of what's in this Buc Days Parade.
Hey,
I mentioned also Maclovio.
Yeah,
Why don't
let's
we
see
go
what
down
Mac
here
is
and
up
see
to.
what he's got down there. Mac?
All right. Okay, we're coming to you live from Leopard, and I'm here with my young friend Daniel. Daniel, how you doing?
Good.
What are you doing?
At the parade.
Have you waved at everybody?
Yes.
Who are you here with?
My dad and my uncle and my sister and my brother.
And a bunch of cousins, right?
Yes.
And where are you going to school?
At Tolosa Midway.
Tolosa Midway. Well, very good. Enjoy the parade, man. Have a good time. Come on over. Here's another friend of mine.
Hi, Dad.
What are you doing?
At the wait, what is it?
Well, you watch me on the weather, right?
Yep.
You like watching the weather?
Yes.
You like watching the clouds and the rain and the storms?
Yes.
All right, good deal, man. Well, you have a good. Put your mask on. See what you got. Whoa, that's pretty scary stuff right there. Turn your lights on. All right, well, good. There he goes. There he goes. There he goes. Okay, now he's got glowing eyes. Glowing eyes. Watch out. It's a scary guy. Well, there we go. We see the majors. We see the Navy up there. Let's go see what's coming down the pike over here. Oh, we got a lot of dignitaries. This is the VIPs, folks. This is the dignitaries. We've got Captain Tony Hahn from the U.S. Coast Guard riding shotgun over there. And as you can see, here's where all the big pickup trucks occur. Big trucks coming down the street. This is Leopard. And of course, we're gone. Just married, can you believe that? We are just married, some Buccaneers. I can't believe it. A Buccaneer just got married. Can you believe it? Hey, we're live on Leopard, right for Buc Days Parade. We'll toss it back to Mike and Jen.
All right, Maclovio seems to make friends everywhere he goes, and being here in the parade, no exception.
Hey, Mike, you know, what we're seeing right now is a couple who just got married today. One of them, I understand, is a Buccaneer. I think his new wife is also involved with the Buck Commission or Buck organization as well. So they had a special wedding ceremony today on the day of the 81st annual Buc Days Night Parade. So they'll never forget it.
Yeah, I mean, what a send-off for your honeymoon here. You get to ride in the back of a truck in the night parade with lots of people shouting at you. So that's a good deal for you guys.
Not so bad.
We've had a great tradition in terms of what all happens in this parade, and we were watching a moment ago. We saw members of the military coming through. That's a big part of what this is about. We do honor the military here in the Coastal Bend, and especially our part of it. And so you've seen some of them tonight. You're going to see in just a moment some floats with all kinds of different organizations and people that give you a just kind of a flavor of who we are here in the Coastal Bend. You can find it all by looking here at this night parade.
You certainly can. It's so fantastic to see so many people. I know we've got some a look right now at a dancing group that's coming up. Now, we also want to thank our sponsors tonight, Mike, who helped us to be able to make this live broadcast of the parade possible tonight. One of our sponsors, Oasis Motor Company. A big thank you to them for helping us to get this show on. Also, the Navy Army Community Credit Union. We couldn't have done it without them. And one more of our sponsors tonight, Trevino Funeral Home. A big thank you to all of them for sponsoring this live broadcast. We are thrilled to be live with this broadcast for the first time in a number of years.
Absolutely, and it's those sponsors and others who have made what we're able to bring you tonight possible. Now, I'm looking here and I see dancing people. That's my favorite part of the parade, is when we have marching bands and dancing people. This, I believe, is the Hip Hoppers Dance Group.
So they're going to be showing us some of the popular dance moves. Apparently, it's about 25 members. They're the Hip Hoppers Dance Group. So we're going to sit on this for a couple of minutes just so you can get an idea of what they're doing. Take a look at this. And notice the shoes that are lit up.
I tell you what, if you have to march in a parade, that's the way to do it right there. Just dance your way down the parade route, because this parade is, it's fairly long. It's not like this is just around the block, but none of these young people seem to mind. They seem to be able to just move along with all the energy that they need.
And they're passing right by us, so if it got a little extra loud, that's why. They are right by us. Where Mike and I are set up right now is right along Leopard Leopard Street at Waco. We're pretty close to the RTA building, and so we're kind of right in the thick of it, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, look behind the hip-hop dancers there, and this looks like a very special float. I believe these are some of the Buccaneer Commission queens that we're looking at. Is
and
that
so
why
you
they
see
have
their, yes, you see their pirate-themed outfits that they've got right there. Some very lovely ladies who are part of the parade tonight. Our Buccaneer queens.
Of course, pirates have been a part of the Buc Days tradition from as far back as 1939. It's always been something that you've been able to see no matter what part of the activities that you take part in here at Buc Days. And certainly there's the ship that you see from the Gulf Coast Humane Society. We're glad that they're a part of our Buc Days Night Parade.
All right, and it looks like we have another Buc Days dignitary right there. We've got a fellow right there on top of a nice throne being brought down the Leopard Street as part of our Buc Days Parade tonight. Give it a big wave.
I think these are the Kingsmen, and again, going back to the beginning, the Kingsmen were the ones who originally kind of took charge of this parade, took charge of everything, in other words, happening with Buc Days, and have continued to play a significant role for now. Well, as we mentioned, this is the 81st year.
You see that right there? There are some little pups right there. We've got some dogs on this next float because that, my friends, is the Gulf Coast Humane Society float. So
that's their canine court,
yes,
by the way.
Yes, and so, okay, what we're seeing right there, you mentioned the ship. It's part of the Gulf Coast Humane Society, so they brought along some of the dogs that are up for adoption.
And again, the Kingsmen passing by us here at our parade stand, our vantage point, live Leopard and Waco, bringing you a live look of what all is happening. This is what you'd see if you were sitting down here with us. That's exactly what you would be looking at tonight. And so hello to them, and we're glad that they're part of the parade as well.
All right, we're just continuing to give you live coverage tonight. You can see all the fans that are on either side of Leopard Street, and boy, is it a nice night tonight. Everybody seems to be enjoying themselves, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. We haven't even gotten into half of the floats that are going to come by. We're in maybe the first 10 floats or so, and like I mentioned earlier, folks, there are at least 100 floats that are making their way. You can see Leopard Street, that tail end, really lit up, so I have a feeling in just another minute or two, it's going to get very loud again, Mike.
Absolutely it will, and we would not have it any other way. Now, you see again, if you look in the distance, you see those guys in the white jumpsuits. They're not guys who are just hanging out getting a good look at the parade. They actually have very specific jobs that they're a part of. They are the Buccarators. You have heard them, you have seen them, you love them. They're the folks who make sure that this parade keeps moving. So we don't anticipate too many gaps here in the parade route tonight, because they're the fellas that move people along.
And you know, they're really so special because obviously they put in so much hard work to keep this event going strong year after year after year. And it's all volunteer time, Mike. They volunteer their time, they volunteer their efforts to make all of this happen, and we absolutely appreciate what they do. And whenever I'm talking about them, I'm talking about a team. It is dozens and dozens of people who are part of that group, and each is given a different task. Some people are in charge of putting the carnival on. Some people are with the rodeo. Some people are with the parade. Everybody has their own designated task, and boy, did they take it seriously. And boy, Mike, did they just do a fantastic job year after year. We're in the 81st annual, so we know they're doing something right.
Jen, they absolutely are, and we appreciate all the work that they put in. Hey, we want to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, that being Bishop RV. You're talking about RV sales, parts, and service. If you have an RV need, then you certainly want to go down there and visit the folks at Bishop RV. They would be glad to see you.
We've got a number of sponsors tonight, and we certainly do appreciate them being with us. One of our other sponsors of tonight's broadcast, also the Cantwell Mattress Company. So, guys, thank you so much for helping us out with this.
That's right. They are making it possible for us to bring you live the 81st annual Buc Days Night Parade. So many people are here down along the parade route. A number of others we know are sitting at home watching live on KRIS 6. If you need to, if it works out better for you, remember we are also streaming this parade live, and you can find that live stream by heading over to our website, KRISTV.com, where you won't miss a thing.
And so, Mike, we have at least 5 live cameras that are set up along this parade route tonight. It's been a huge effort by KRIS 6 and all of our fantastic staff staff to make all of this happen. So we're so grateful that everybody was able to just pull it all together, because we have some great shots. We're at so many different angles. We've got the one photographer, Dennis Kingsbury, who is up in the air on that special camera up there, giving us a nice overview shot of Leopard Street. We do have a couple more floats coming by. I think it was another marching band that's going to be coming through here in just a bit.
We're going to hear them as well as see them in just a moment. If you're looking along the parade route there, you see a number of lighted things. That's because, folks, there are a bunch of vendors down here. And, in fact, they've been making their way through this crowd all day, I think, trying to get folks ready for the parade. And a lot of folks have apparently been able to grab some of those items, whether they're talking about those light-up sticks, their glow necklaces I see a lot of people wearing down here. I mentioned this earlier. Somebody in front of us keeps blowing bubbles, and I'm really particularly enjoying that, because the bubbles keep smacking me right in the face. But hey, that's part of being at a parade. You want to let your hair down, you want to have fun, and this night only comes around once a year, and again, it is a beautiful night for a parade.
And that's exactly why there are easily 100,000 people out here, Mike, just in the area where we are at, which is Leopard and Waco Street, pretty close to City Hall and the RTA building. We are seeing tens of thousands of people and so many families. I'm seeing people of all ages, everything from young children to what is probably grandma and grandpa who are sitting out here. And I bet grandma and grandpa have been here for
since
decades.
They were children, would be my guess. And that's not an exaggeration, folks. We've talked to a lot of families that we have met along the parade route. Earlier, Maclovio was talking to some folks who, this is, if anything, a family tradition for them, and it's something that they would not miss. The Buc Days events have been such a huge part of Corpus Christi and who we have been as a city, and you could not imagine our city without it.
81 years strong, and again, so many families here in town that it has been a tradition for them over the decades. Now, I believe we're going to go out to Mac again. Is that correct, Mac? Let's see what you're up to.
Okay, we're live on Leopard, and we got a very big band coming up for you. You're really going to like this, so get ready for it. Here they are, the Roy Miller High School cheerleaders and the Battling Buck Band coming right into view. It's the Buc Days Illuminated Night Parade, and here they go. It's the Battling Bucks. There they are, folks, the Miller Buccaneer Band, best in the West.
Listening to them,
We're live on Leopard.
Miller High School Battling Buck Band, and if that looks like a big group, folks, it is. 85 band and 40 drill team members make up this group, and they are having a good time.
And they're being led tonight by their band director, Mr. Richard Blaylock, and boy, does he do a great job keeping those band members together. And folks, if you're having trouble hearing Mike and me, don't worry, Mike and I are having trouble hearing ourselves because it is loud out here.
We would not have it any other way, so we appreciate them being here. Hey, you're looking now at the 82nd All-Airborne South Texas CHP. That's a good-looking group right there, coming through in that truck and waving the flags, and we're proud to have them as a part of our Buc Days Illuminated Night Parade this evening. Now, who are we looking at there? What is that, a mascot of some kind?
They look like they're ready for some Cinco de Mayo. That's the
Amistad Community Health Center. That's who that is. We're glad that they're here with us as well. And then right behind them in that gold and blue trailer. No, that's them. That's Amistad right there. The gold and blue trailer. And Hey, she's dancing. Is
They're
that allowed
having
in
a
this
good
parade?
time. They're having a great time tonight, that's for sure.
I like the
Take a look at that.
sombreros, too.
Fantastic.
We were thinking about getting sombreros, but we couldn't fit them into our broadcast
And we
booth
weren't
up here.
sure they would hold up in the wind. Fortunately, it's only been breezy out here tonight. Now, behind the Amistad float, we do have the National Association of Letter Carriers, our mailmen.
That's right, and
All
looks like
right.
future male women.
That's right.
right there in the crowd as well, waving the American flag.
All
so
right,
a
our
big
postal
hello to each one of
carriers
those
joining
folks right
us
there.
for the,
There are so
81st
many
annual
different
Buc Days.
groups that you're going to see tonight, such a variety of organizations, including this one. You're thinking, why is that fire truck yellow?
Well, that's the Refinery Terminal Fire Company truck. They are the ones, they are the good team who respond whenever there is something that's going on at any of the local refineries. If there's anything that goes on, they're the ones who go out there, and they are the emergency first responders.
They are, and they do such a great job with so many things that they have had to handle, and they work in so many ways to keep everyone safe. Now, this says, in memory of fellow Buccaneers. This is the memoriam float where they have the names of some who have passed on. And it is very special that because the Buccaneers have such a big part in this night parade each year, that they would have a float remembering some of those who are no longer with us.
Giving you a kind of a broader look at all the floats involved tonight. We have well over 100 floats that were put together by local families, local businesses, local organizations, and so far they are off to a fantastic start.
I think, Jennifer, we saw earlier some of the Buccaneer Commission queens. They're lighting us up here, the terminal Refinery Terminal Fire Company. We saw some of the Buccaneer queens. I would bet these are some of those Buccaneer Commission kings.
Rodeo, Corpus Christi. You see it right there on that float. And yes, indeed, they are the Buccaneer Commission kings who are strolling through Leopard Street right now.
They're part of that leadership program that they have here, an organization that does great.
Always
Hey,
popular Stripes and Laredo Taco Company, both of which you can usually find in my car or in my house or at my desk at least once a week.
At least once a week, probably twice a week if the truth be told.
Yes,
but we appreciate Stripes and what they mean to our community. And of course, Laredo Taco Company, they're the people you go to if you're hungry for a taco. What do we have there?
All right, it's the Crestwood Fire Department.
That's the Cub Scout pack.
Yeah, there we go. It's Cub Scout Pack 296. Now, they're riding a 1987 Seagrave fire truck that was chartered by Luther Jones Elementary School.
Okay, and they are riding in style. Tell you what, if you get to ride the parade, you can do it on a loud fire truck. That's the way you want to go.
Yeah, so if you hear the commotion behind us, that is them. That's the Cub Scout Pack 296. What you're looking at right now, of course, is the Andrews Distributing Float. You have the Miller Light Girls giving their wave right now. It's Miller time.
That's right. Buck Parade tailgaters is who they are saluting. There are a lot of those who were out here tonight. They were able to meet a few of them, and that is their float. Andrews Distributing again. Also, we're proud to have them along for the ride here on our live broadcast.
All right, so we've got
the parade.
a pink float right now. They are the Down South Riders, and they're a local horse group that's been riding together and entertaining crowds for over 10 years, Mike. So the Down South Riders are the ones right there. They got a couple of their horses involved in the parade as well.
That's right. Always good to see horses in the parade. Anytime you can get a horse in a parade, that just makes the parade that much more special. He's having trouble controlling his, by the way. No, he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I'm sure all the loud music and the horns are getting to those horses, but they seem to be pretty well behaved tonight. Take a look at that. And I see Mac along the parade route over there. And you know, Mike, it takes such a big team of people to put on this event. We've talked about the Buccaneers, the dozens and dozens of team members they have. We've talked about the CCPD officers and the DPS, the Nueces County Sheriff's officers who are out here. It's easily a couple to a few hundred of those law enforcement officers who are out here tonight just to make sure that everyone stays safe. That's always the number one goal, public safety.
That's the job, and apparently they are doing a fantastic job at that because, you know, very rarely do we hear about any kind of serious incident here in this parade. And we were talking earlier about the fact that there are so many people down here, and you might kind of wonder, well, how do you control a crowd like that? It has not been a difficult task tonight because of all of the people that we have along the parade route and just the attitude of the crowd.
Yeah, everyone seems to be in a great mood tonight. Hey, we want to give a big thank you to some of our sponsors tonight. Big thank you going out to Trout Trucking and J&B Pavelka for sponsoring this live broadcast of the Buc Days Navy Army Night Parade. Also, thank you to Andrews Distributing. We saw their float go by just a few minutes ago. And also a big thank you tonight to the rest of our sponsors who are out here to make the Navy Army Night Parade possible.
That's right. We will mention them throughout the night. And again, a big thank you to all those folks. Hey, look at what we got going on here. It looks like some more ladies in some fine dresses right there. That's a good-looking float, too. The Los Doños de la Corte Duchess, I believe, is what we were looking at right there. Who else would be wearing a crown in a parade, right?
Absolutely.
And these are some of the dresses that, some of the things we were talking about earlier, the pageantry, the royalty that they add to this Buccaneers Day night parade. And look at that shoe. I think I saw Elton John wear those in the 70s at one point. In fact, I think I may have had a pair like that in the 1970s, but thank you for giving us that look. You'll see a lot of folks doing that tonight because that's a kind of a part of the tradition of the Buc Days Night Parade is you kind of show everybody your feet. I don't know why, but there it is.
Here's another nice float going by. That's the neighborhood centers of Corpus Christi. That's the float you're looking at right now. They are the Pirates of the Playground. That is the theme they came up with for their float this year. The Pirates and the Pirate Ship float. They're representing the neighborhood centers of Corpus Christi. And you know, Mike, one thing that we probably haven't mentioned very much of tonight is the big carnival that's also going on right now out at Water's Edge Park. So don't forget about the carnival. It's going on all the way through Sunday, which is the Sunday of Mother's Day.
In fact, they've switched things up a little bit. It used to be that the parade marked the end. Well, in this case, that's not happening. The parade kind of marks the beginning. They've just started out there. In fact, they'll be open until midnight tonight. They're going to open up again at noon tomorrow. And if you get a chance, go on down there. If not, find one of those free RTA park and ride places where you can get a shuttle down to the carnival and just have a great time there as well.
Yeah, and if you need to look up any of that information, of course, we have it all posted for you at our website, KRISTV.com. You can always go there. We've got all the information on the carnival, the hours, the wristbands. There's going to be another dollar night at the carnival coming up next Thursday, something that people always look forward to.
Jen, it is time for another high school band.
Yeah.
This one happens to be the John Paul II High School Band, representing that high school. There are 16 members of the band, 25 drill team members. They are led by director Carissa Reyes and always do a fantastic job. Thank you to the folks there at John Paul II.
Hey,
what is this?
Hey, we are getting into our next float, which is the Clown Alley.
Yeah, those folks were in there was somewhere down there a Ford Roadster that the clowns were supposed to be on. I saw some clowns on bikes. Those, however, are not clowns.
These right here are more of Las Doñas de la Corte Duchess. Now, that's just another one of their floats. I believe, if I understand, if I remember correctly, it was right around 7 floats that are part of the Duchesses, their court tonight. So you're seeing each float that's a little bit of a different theme. And I'm noticing that so many of the Duchesses are showing off their shoes.
And why not? Why not, right? Now, you're looking here, you will notice a particular kind of vehicle rolling down the road. This is the 5.0 Addicts and Mustangs Car Club. It's not been around that long. In fact, I think about maybe 4 years.
Yeah, not too long at all.
What the members of this particular car club do is they combine their love for cars and our community, and they work together to help local children. There's so many ways that they raise support and funds and just give them their time and their presence.
All right. Let's take a second just to kind of listen to those engines rev. I heard them revving up just a second ago.
takes you back to the days of the muscle car, doesn't it?
Again, they are the members of the 5.0 Addicts and Mustang Car Club.
There we go. We knew we'd get one of them if we waved long enough. That's some good-looking cars, too. You've got different models, different years of the Ford Mustang. Right. They're all Mustangs, though, because, that's what that club is all about.
Part of what's going on tonight through the Buc Days Parade, they're still there, folks.
Sounds like my neighbors I used to live next to. All right. And while they are revving up their engines and showing off to the parade crowd, this is probably a good time for us to thank one particular sponsor, Oasis Motor Company. We're proud that Oasis Motor Company has joined us in helping you to bring the Buc Days Navy Army Night Parade.
Also, a big thank you tonight. This portion of our broadcast being brought to you by the Navy Army Community Credit Union.
And we don't want to forget to mention the Trevino Funeral Home. Thank you for sponsoring our broadcast and for being part of this Navy Army Night Parade. Now, we've got some martial arts folks here on the parade route. You can tell by the fact that they're all dressed the same way right there. Life Martial Arts is who that is, and apparently there are lots of young people, but you see some teenagers there as well. And any of you who've ever had a child or a family member involved in a martial arts program know how beneficial that can be in so many ways.
And it really is great to see so many kids who are involved in the actual parades, riding on the parades, but also the kids that are here as spectators as well, Mike, because we have to keep in mind that Buc Days, the real goal in all of this is to raise scholarship money.
Absolutely it is, and there are so many folks who are helped out by that, students who are helped out because of the efforts of so many who put on Buc Days.
Right. Now, I believe one of the next floats we're going to see is another one of the Las Doñas de la Corte Duchess floats. Look at the ladies. I love that they have, the crowns are gorgeous, their gowns are gorgeous, and I love that they all have that perfect little parade wave, kind of like Maclovio had her.
Well, Maclovio had to practice his for a while, and I'm not sure he ever perfected it, but they've got that thing down, and they are excited to be in the parade. I see the escorts walking along. They don't look too shabby themselves. They look pretty happy to be there as well. So this is, again, part of the pageantry and the royalty that is and has been a part of the Buc Days tradition for so long now.
And every one of the dresses that they are wearing, these are all handmade gowns. First, they're designed. There's a designer that they work with every year, several designers, in fact, who are responsible for coming up with the designs for each young lady's gown. And there's a theme every single year. And then there are actual tailors who are the ones who are tasked with building these gowns, stitching these gowns, making them, and it takes weeks and weeks to actually put each gown together. And they're going to be on display later this month.
Yeah, over at the Art Center, so you want to go by and take a look at those. Hey, folks, we don't want this parade to bug you, and so we've got ABC Home and Commercial Services making their way now in those very familiar trucks with the familiar logo on the side. ABC Home and Commercial Services, your ABC pest control people.
Take a look at that. They made a mini wind turbine right there. I like that. That float, of course, could be no other than the Port of Corpus Christi. Hey, shout out to them just for their creativity alone. I love it.
It is. The float is from the Port of Corpus Christi, as Jen mentioned. Its design is inspired by a port ship and port police unit. Their vision, of course, to be the energy port of the Americas, and they are certainly making headway in that direction.
Yeah, the port's always doing great things. They are self-sustaining. They're such a strong and important member of our Corpus Christi community, always doing great things out there, continuing to grow as well. We know that they are dredging the channel there so that we can eventually get bigger ships through our port, which just means a stronger economy for the coastal.
And I've got to tell you, when those wind turbines begin to make their appearance all over and dot the landscape all over our part of the coastal bend, I wondered about that. Now, though, knowing what they do, we're really glad to have them out there. Hey, look at that. It's the Corpus Christi Rems Adaptive Basketball Team. If you have never seen these folks play basketball, you don't know what you're missing. It is a competitive group. In fact, not only do they do that here, but they travel as well in order to take on other opponents in the basketball game.
And we have done some stories on these guys. They're fantastic. They can really get down on the basketball court. They really do a great job, and they take their sport seriously.
That's right. CC Rims, they're a part of our live coverage of the 81st Annual Buccaneers Night Parade. We're glad that you're here with us on Chris 6. Keep in mind, you can also see this being live streamed at our website, KRISTV.com. Now, I see a big orange peel here, Jennifer. I'm thinking this is the Texas Citrus Fiesta Royal Court.
Yeah, that's right. They're riding the Hawaiian Pirate Adventures float. They are celebrating with us here at the 81st Annual Buc Days Night Parade and the 81st anniversary of the Texas Citrus Fiesta.
That is a good-looking float right there, not only with all those folks on it, but just the design. And again, because this is a night parade, it's important that these floats be lit up so everybody can enjoy them, and nobody has disappointed yet.
Absolutely not. So following that float right here, we've got the Budweiser
Dilly
logo.
Dilly, it says on there.
Dilly Dilly.
That's L&F Distributors. That's
L&F Distributors tonight.
Dilly Dilly Bud Light. It's the there it is, the medieval time Bud Light Night that you've seen in those Dilly Dilly commercials. Again, this brought to you by L&F Distributors. I like the commercials, by the way. I think everybody who's seen them does. They are some of the funniest ones on television right now. So we're glad they're a part of our Buc Days Night Parade. L&F Distributors, the Dilly Dilly floats.
All right, again, we are broadcasting live from Leopard Street, right at Waco, near the RTA building. So glad to have you with us tonight.
We've had a number of folks who have made this parade possible tonight, and a number of sponsors. And throughout the night, we want to take just a moment to thank some of those sponsors and to let them know how glad we are that they're helping us out here.
Mike, one of our great sponsors tonight is Bishop RV sales, parts, and service. Thank you guys over at Bishop RV.
We also want to thank the folks over at the Cantwell Mattress Company. You can't well sleep without a Cantwell mattress, and thank you for being a part of what we're doing here.
And we're saying thank you tonight to Trout Trucking and J&B Pavelka. Thank you guys for sponsoring this live broadcast of the Buc Days Navy Army Night Parade.
We ought to mention that they're also the folks who are helping Chris 6 with our float as well. J&B Pavelka, they've been a part of that for a number of years, giving us we've got the trailer there that we can use and the truck that pulls our float. And in just a little bit, we're going to see our particular float come by. They have not come up in the parade order yet.
And our float this year, we came up with the theme, of course, it's Single the Mile, so that was our theme. So it's full of color, it's festive, it's gorgeous, and the icing on the cake, the cherry on the icing of the cupcake, you know, here, Mike, is that we have members of the Robstown Mariachi group who are with us. The Robstown Mariachi Ensemble, I believe we have about 16 mariachi members who are performing on our float tonight, and so we're so looking forward to getting to see them.
You know, they don't even have to perform to be impressive. We had those folks come into the studio earlier today, and the red that they are dressed in, I mean, seeing them dressed in just the full outfits there, really something special, something exciting to see. And then you hear them play, and boy, as you mentioned, that just kind of makes things even better.
Yeah, they really do. They're fantastic. And you know, it was only a few weeks ago that Robstown Mariachi group, and they're high school members. So these are all kids who are 14 to maybe 18 years old. They're in grades 9 through 12. So talented. Well, only a few weeks ago, they got together and they wanted to break a Guinness World Record for the largest mariachi ensemble to perform a serenade. So the previous record, Mike, if I recall correctly, the previous record was in the 600s.
Yeah, okay.
And I tell you what, they put out an invitation statewide for mariachis, whether it was a mariachi group, whether it's a single mariachi, whether it was with a private organization or another high school or any type of college or anything like that. They put out that invitation, and people definitely responded. They had about 740 mariachis who showed up in Robstown. They were in their full dress. And they had to perform. And so together, a few weekends ago, they got together in Robstown at the high school, and they performed about 740 mariachis, and they believe that the Guinness World Record was broken and a new one was set. That, of course, still being verified and confirmed through Guinness.
All right. Hey, we want to mention something. Not only do we have the parade going on here, do not forget about the Buc Days Carnival. It is in full swing. And, folks, we are giving you a chance to win some wristbands. Those are the things that you'll need to get in the gate. It allows you on most of the rides. Here's how we're going to do that. 6 viewers, that's right, 6 of the folks who are watching us right now are going to win 4 wristbands. The way that works, Jen, is they have to do what?
All right, all you have to do is right now email your name. We need your phone number, and you have to put the word carnival in your email. So we need your name, your phone number, and the word carnival. Then you're going to send that information through an email to contest@KRISTV.com. We need you to do that by the end of the night. So as long as you get your email to us by the end of tonight, you'll be entered for your chance to win 4 wristbands to the big carnival.
All right. Hey, we've got some more folks coming up here. What is going on down there on the ground? Can we find McClovio down there anywhere?
We are live on Leopard, and you know what they say, once a buck, always a buck. This is the Miller Alumni Band. Yes, sirree, all of these are former Miller people. They're still together, they're still playing in the band, and they are pretty good. What class are you with?
75.
So why are you still doing this?
Because I'm a true buck.
All right, congratulations. Did we get that?
Again, it's because they're not. That's the Alumni Association, the high steppers there, and also the band.
So, you know, it's 45 band members who are part of that show band Alumni Association, 45 band members, and then 20 drill team members who make up that musical group, and they're led by their director, Mr. Joe Hernandez.
Hey, take a look at this. I believe this is another one of the Las Doñas de la Corte floats. This is the Princess float, and I'm guessing the Princess is the one right up there on top. What do you think?
I'm pretty sure you're right. Look at these gowns. We've talked about it a little bit tonight. All of these are hand-stitched. They're just gorgeous. Look at the train that's on that gown right there. Just absolutely stunning. And if you want to take a call, the girls are showing their shoes again. They all have shoes that coordinated with their dresses, but they're all tennis shoes. They're smart girls because they are going to be standing on these floats for a number of hours, so comfort is key.
Now this one involves, what looks to me like a bull, as a matter of fact. This is the City of Hidalgo Borderfest float. The bullfighting arena float, again, as we mentioned, is from the City of Hidalgo. I bet those folks are as well. It is celebrating Borderfest. That happens to be one of South Texas' largest music, culture, and heritage festivals, and we're glad that those folks have come from Hidalgo in order to be in the Buc Days Illuminated Night Parade. Thank you, folks, for being here with us tonight. And it says there that that's happening, what did it say, March 1st through 3rd?
Yeah, I believe that is correct.
That's it. I wonder what that bull is made out of there. I'm trying to figure that out. It's pretty
well
sparkly.
done and nice.
Got something going on there. And looks like they've got trophies there. So I'm thinking they won something already. You know, one of the things that happens is they give out trophies along the parade route, those Buccaneers do, and there are different kinds of categories, and so these floats are judged as they come by, and I think they just hand them the trophy right there.
And we, in fact, our Chris 6 News Float has won one of the trophies in years past, so hopefully we get another one tonight. We'll keep you posted.
We'll have to see when ours comes by. You were looking at some of the people along the parade route there, and we can tell you they are having a fantastic time out here. Not a problem to be seen, at least from our vantage point, and a lot of happy folks, a lot of families, a lot of children running around and dancing and playing with some of the glow sticks and some of the other things that you're able to get from the vendors here. Looks like Mom and Dad even got in on a lot of the fun right there.
Hey, Mike, we want to give another thank you to some of our sponsors tonight, including Andrews Distributing. They are one of several sponsors who were able to help us out in making sure we could make this live broadcast of the 81st Annual annual Buc Days Night Parade possible. It took a lot of work, and so we are so thankful to the sponsors who helped us out tonight.
That's right. So many folks have joined in to help us out. So many people have come together in our city to make this possible. Now, this is a very cowboy-looking.
Brooks County Fair royalty. So we're happy to have them with us tonight. We got a couple of a cowboy and a cowgirl who's getting down right there. Also, some of their horses are with them tonight. That's the Brooks County Fair royalty float right there.
All right, and these horses look like they have done this a time or two.
Yeah, it seems like they're dancing.
Some of them have been out there and doing their thing, and looks like they've done this before.
All right, so if I'm understanding these horses, they're kind of like show horses, and they're called the Los Tapapiax horses.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at right now.
So that's
so
what
you
that
see
is.
that they are trained horses, and that's what they do. They dance.
Yeah, they do. They do all kinds of tricks and all kinds of very impressive things that, again, they're controlled by the riders who've got those commands that they're giving them in order to get them to do what they do. And I can tell you that folks here along the parade route are really enjoying this. They're taking the time, and they've slowed down right here in order to give the folks an up-close and personal first-hand show of what they're able to do with some of their horses.
Big, gorgeous horses tonight.
Just a beautiful night here along the parade route for those of you who are out here and are enjoying this. For those of you who are at home, open up the windows and it'd be just like you were here.
You're exactly right, Mike. I love that.
And there's the Brooks County royalty.
That is the royalty. Those horses were part of, like I said, a kind of dancing horse troupe.
Yeah, these are the folks from Brooks County. They are, again, they're hitting up that pirate theme, as is so common here along in the parade, the Buc Days Parade. This is the royalty court, and again, they are from Brooks County, and we're glad that they're here with us as well.
Let's see who we have coming up next. I believe it is the Alumni Shriners. Yes, it definitely is.
You know how I could tell? It's the hat.
The hats.
The hats. You can always tell a Shriner because they're happy and they got that hat on. But we're glad they're with us. That's the Alumni Shriners. They do so much, not only for our community, but certainly the children in our community as well.
That's right. They're constantly having fundraisers and doing what they can to make sure.
And they've got that great circus, too, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, and this is the part right here that I remember my children always enjoyed, is the Shriners who were coming along on the little motor scooters and
the little bikes.
The little bikes and things like that. Again, that's just a trademark of just about every parade that you've ever seen. And so we've got them here again tonight in our Buc Days Parade, having a great time. You always wonder if these guys ever run into each other or get
Look at him. What's he doing? Oh. So, okay, we've got him on camera, so he just got his own little picture.
All right.
And Mac is still hidden down there somewhere along the parade route. I have no doubt that he probably found a family he can hang out with, and he's probably having some barbecue or a turkey leg at this point.
We may not see him again tonight, as a matter of fact. I'm not really sure. But.
Yeah, we'll have to check in with him again here in just a bit, as Clovio Pettis, of course, is live along the parade route with a closer look at all of these great floats. Mike, aren't you impressed tonight?
It is. It is
really fantastic.
One of the best parades. Of course, you got to remember that in years past we've ridden on the float, and so
we don't get to see all of this.
Get to enjoy all of the floats, like the people who come out here to the parade. And for those who couldn't make it to the parade, well, they never got to see any of the floats. And so this year we have brought all that together. Not only are we getting to witness what the folks here who come to the parade witness, but those of you who are at home who've joined us for this live broadcast of the parade, you get to see it as well. Some, I imagine, for the very first time, Jen.
Possibly. So we are obviously so glad to have you with us, to all of our viewers who are out there. Mike's mentioned it a couple of times tonight. We're also broadcasting and live streaming on Facebook and our website as well. So so glad to be able to share this moment with you guys all around the coastal bend. And let's just comment on the number of people who are out here tonight.
Yeah.
Probably 100,000 people who...
I would think easily. I mean, all along the parade route, and again, a bunch of them right here where we are at Leopard and Waco by the RTA building.
So the next float that's coming by, that is the Corpus Christi State-Supported Living Center. We have some of their residents who are right there with them. So they seem to be really enjoying their time on the float tonight. Glad that they're part of the 81st annual night parade.
They are. Fantastic. And again, as you mentioned, these are residents of the State-Supported Living Center, and these are the folks that, again, because of what they're able to do there, they're able to give them an opportunity like this, and it means so much to so many of them.
Wonderful.
Hey, look at that. That's a good-looking bike coming
All right,
by
we have
there.
the South Texas Indian Motorcycle Riders group. These riders right here, they're members of, the South Texas Indian Motorcycle Riders group, and they're the South Texas chapter, which is actually the group's newest chapter.
And anybody that's ever had an Indian motorcycle knows what a special bike that is, and to be a part of a group with other riders who share that in common with you is such an exciting thing for those folks. What do we got going on here? This has got to be another of the Los Doños de la Corte floats. It's the Queen float.
And look at her shoes. All right, she has some sparkly Converse on right there. And if you're wondering why so many of the Los Doños de la Corte floats, it's simply because they have so many young ladies who are involved with the court. So it's Los Doños de la Corte, several young ladies who are involved. The float you're looking at right now, Mike, is the Queen's float. So the lady right there, the young lady right there who's waving, she is this year's 2018 Queen of the Courts. And that right there is the back of her gown. That's the train of her gown.
That's real. That's, at first you look at that and you think, well, that's pretty cool how they made that a part of the float. That's what those dresses look like, folks. They are so elaborate in so many ways and take so long to be able to put together. And again, they are going to be on display over at the Art Center, so you'll be able to see those as a part of the big Buc Days celebration. Everybody give them a wave. They've got the Queen wave down. Even the guy in the tux knows how to
So
get
we
it
are just a little bit under halfway through the floats that are part of tonight's lineup, and so far everything is going absolutely smoothly.
Absolutely.
There seem to be no problems tonight. Our last update with the CCPD was that everyone's having a great time. They're not having any trouble at all. We have a couple hundred CCPD officers and law enforcement officers. We have everything from CCPD to the Nueces County Sheriff's Department. We had state troopers out here, all to just make sure they're keeping everyone safe, and fortunately the community is doing their part.
They certainly are. One of the things that makes a parade special is when you have high schools involved, and I know we had John Paul II come by earlier.
We had Miller
High School. This, I believe, would be the Ray Texans. Look at that. They are there.
You know what? We've got Mac, who is live out there. He can give us a closer look. Mac, what's going on?
We're coming to you from Leopard Street down low where you can get a really good view. Who's coming up? It's the Big Red, folks. It's the Ray Texans coming up. Hello, Ray Texans. WB Ray, Texan Band. Here they are, folks.
Marching band that we're giving you a live look at right now as they are part of the 81st annual Buc Days Night Parade. They're broadcasting live from Leopard Street. This is an impressive marching band tonight. Number one, they do a fantastic job. Number two, they sound absolutely great. And number three, keep in mind these are all high school kids who have committed to this, and they sound great, Mike. They're doing great. 230
members. As a matter of fact, it is a big group, and they are really wowing the crowd tonight. Now, there's some friends of ours right there. HEB has got a float in this parade, as they seem to have in every parade that we're ever a part of. You see the red, white, and blue state of Texas right there from the good folks at HEB.
I know. So, okay, I was trying to figure out what exactly it is that's on their float. It is one of the little shopping baskets.
Yeah.
And then it looks like...
There's that good creamy ice cream I saw up there. And there's some of that HEB coffee that they have. Okay.
Delivering Texas our best.
Well, they certainly do that.
HEB.
We are proud to have HEB as a part of the community, and certainly are glad to have them here.
Very nice float.
In
well
the night
done.
parade. They did a good job of lighting all that stuff up, too, as all of our floats did, I think.
Just giving you a closer look here.
Somebody's down there yelling, where are the coupons?
Give me the yellow HEB coupon. I need something free.
That's right. I was looking for HE Buddy. We usually see him on these floats, but instead these are some of the folks who are employees of HEB, and they're riding that. This is American Collision Repair Center. Can you say monster truck?
And look at what he's got in his hand. They won an award tonight. They got a trophy.
We mentioned earlier that that's the way they work it. When you go by the judges, they give you the trophy.
Oh, take a look at that.
There he is, showing off for our Christmas viewers. Yeah, but where do you park it? That's the question. All right, so again, American Collision Repair Center, a part of our live coverage tonight of the 81st annual Buc Days Night Parade. Oh, we're getting closer to something I think that everybody is going to enjoy.
Oh, we've been waiting.
We are coming up now on our KRISTV parade. Is that right?
All right, this is the KRISTV News float, folks. We are going to just take a second and let you really enjoy this. What is on our float, aside from our actual co-workers, there's Lee and Darren and Stephanie, Wanakunia, Priscilla Torres right there, Alan Harwell, and of course some of their family members joined them as well. And that is the mariachi who is on board. The Robstown High School Mariachi is joining us on our float tonight. We are celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
They are celebrating in a big way, and we're glad to have them.
Roland Rodriguez
riding on the float. What a great job they did.
We won first place. I was just told by my producer out here that KRISTV won first place for our float in the media division, so we knocked it out of the park. Look at that float.
We certainly
Love
did.
it.
You know, that's not unusual. We ought to mention that happens a lot of years because we have folks who do such a good job of putting that float together. So thank you for that, and we appreciate all our KRISTV colleagues there. All right, that's oh, look at that. This guy's got him a trophy for something.
Yeah, he's got a trophy as well. So that's Destino Danzar Performance Group. So I guess that's why you kind of hear them. They're kind of loud and rowdy, and we've got some dancers
Look
right
what's
behind
following
them.
right behind them there. Oh my goodness.
So this dance group, again, they're called the Destino Danzar Performance Group. That's what you're seeing right now. They are the award-winning performance group. They're actually out of San Antonio, and they say they just enjoy sharing their love for music and their love for dance, and they just love sharing it with the community, and we're fortunate that tonight here in the Coastal Bend, they're sharing it with us, this group out of San Antonio, and tonight they're under the direction of Miss Margaret Cisneros, so glad to have them here with us as part of the 81st annual Night Parade.
Absolutely, and again, that's just some of the folks. In fact, we've still got a whole bunch more parade to go. There are a lot more floats, a lot more people, a lot more participants here, and they are certainly giving quite the show to the crowds who have lined up along the parade route tonight. You're looking there at the RTA building. That's a live shot kind of over here near where we're set up at Waco and Leopard Street as well. And this is a great vantage point with some great folks. And they're doing, what is that coming through there? Look at that bicycle.
This is South Texas Barber College. You know, the Barber College here in town, they put out so many great barbers around town who are probably cutting your hair from time to time. That Barber College here in town was founded back in 1978. So,
certainly was.
A lot of history we have with them. Hey, Mike, we want to take a chance to, again, thank some of our sponsors, including Oasis Motor Company. Thank you to the good team over at Oasis Motor Company for helping to sponsor our broadcast tonight, and also to the Navy Army Community Credit Union as well. Just a couple of our sponsors tonight. And let's see, we also had another sponsor, Trevino Funeral Home. So a big thanks to everyone who helped to make this live broadcast of the 81st annual Buc Days Navy Army Night Parade possible tonight.
How long has it been since you've seen a barber pole? That's what they've got there on their barber
Yeah, you
shop
don't see
float.
them often anymore. So
No.
that is the South Texas Barber College.
All right, looking down, we've got lots more folks. In just a moment, we're going to see, I think, another band is going to come by, so still lots of music and dancing left to go here in the 81st annual Buc Days Night Parade. Big Branch Transport is pulling this particular float.
All right,
They are coming along, and let's see
this is Nueces County District Attorney Mark Gonzalez.
There they are.
So let's give you a second just to take it all in. The float of Nueces County District Attorney Mark Gonzalez, and it was a fiesta-themed float for him this year.
All right, this is what I was talking about earlier. West Oso High School. You are seeing the West Oso High School Band, 120 members of the West Oso High School Band, led by director Carl Melton. Take a listen to them. That is 120 members of this marching band. They're led by their band director, Carl Melton, and fantastic performance. Go Bear Band. That's all we have to say.
This parade route is well over 3 miles from start to end. So all these marching bands, the people who are actually walking, they're walking for several hours because they hit the street at about 8 p.m. That's whenever the float started actually moving down Leopard Street. And it is right now 9:30, so for an hour and a half, they've been walking and performing the whole time.
Yeah, they were, and they had to wait around for a few hours even before that, so kudos to them. Hey, you're looking at Lula Council 1 Feria de las Flores Queens floats.
And again, we're going to give you an opportunity just to listen to their float. Take a listen to this, guys.
Texas Jazz Festival. That's the folks you're looking at right there. It's the King and Queen jazzing it up here at Buc Days.
October the 19th and 21st at Heritage Park, the Texas Jazz Festival.
As you heard right there, the Texas Jazz Festival, something they do each year in October.
Yeah,
and
it's going to be
out
in
at Heritage
October.
Park.
Usually starts on a Friday, Saturday, and goes on to
Okay,
Sunday
what's wrong
as well.
with this picture?
Oh, that is a little baby horse right there. That is Captain Hoof, the mini horse. He's got his work cut out for him, Mike.
He sure does. He doesn't seem to be straining, though, to pull that, pull that little carriage
joining
off
us tonight for the parade.
well. All right, we've got another royal-looking float coming along here.
This is Tracy Leitner with steps. It's S-T-E-P-S.
The previous Buc Days
Okay.
Queen with the new national title of Ms. All-World Beauties Elite U.S. for 2018.
That is quite the title.
Impressive title there, isn't it? I don't think you or I were in the
I
running
gotta
for that.
say that again. Miss All World Beauties Elite US 2018.
All right, the previous Buc Days Queen.
Fantastic, beautiful floats.
Okay, and that looks like an ROTC group that's coming through there. In fact, I believe it is the Moody High School NJ ROTC. You will see 35 cadets and their color guard representing Moody High School's Navy Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps. Now, the NJROTC, as you may know, is designed to teach students so many things, including leadership and service to the community.
And here we have the USS Lexington Museum on the Bay. Hey, we saw him earlier at the CASA event as well.
We did, yeah.
Folks, it's been a long day for us, a great day here around the community. And we're seeing so many of the people who were with us at this CASA fundraiser we had since this morning. So that was the USS Lexington.
Each
float.
year on the Lex, they have that haunted house that they do, and a lot of people go and take part in that, and well, that's what you're looking at right there. It is the largest haunted house on a ship in South Texas. It happens at USS Lexington. It is 2 floors tall. If you've ever been through it, you know there are some 86 rooms and 120 actors who come together to make that night what it is.
So, Mike, they started doing this little haunting on the Blue Ghost. They started around October of 2011, so it's been going on for a number of years now, and it's always a good time.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that does get bigger and better each year. So,
and we're giving you a look at the crowd out there.
Around.
Everyone seems to be having a great time. Fantastic weather tonight, and just a really great night to celebrate family and celebrate South Texas tradition.
All right, we do have a number of folks that are making this possible tonight, and that includes some of our sponsors who have been so gracious to help us out in order to let us bring you the Navy Army Night Parade here. In fact, this portion of our broadcast is brought to you by Bishop RV. We're talking about RV sales, parts, and service. Bishop RV, one of our sponsors. Also, we want to thank the Cantwell Mattress Company. You can't well sleep without a Cantwell mattress. They're making what we do possible here tonight as we bring you this live coverage. And while we're at it, let's also just mention Trout Trucking and J&P Pavelka. J&B Pavelka and Trout Trucking, a big thank you to you for sponsoring this live broadcast of the Buc Days Navy Army Night Parade. So thank you for being a part of that. Hey, we've got much more coming up in the parade, and we see...
That we do. Again, I love looking at all the people who are out here. We've talked to so many people tonight. I know Mac has definitely. We were talking to people before our broadcast started. So many people who've come out here for years and years. It's all part of their family tradition, and so many of the families you're seeing right now had locked off their parade watch spots days ago, and they come out here every single day, every morning and afternoon, and they check up to make sure that their parade watch spot is still marked off, because they want to make sure that year after year their families get to sit along Leopard Street, the same spots, and get their parade vantage point. So it's always such a great time.
This is one of the more popular floats that come through the parade each year because it's a very popular group. We're talking, of course, about Chicas Rock. And if I was noticed correctly there a moment ago, I saw somebody walking. There it is, somebody walking with a trophy. So apparently they were popular again this year as well.
They're loud. We can really hear them.
Fiesta Rock theme going on there for Chicas Rock.
We're going to give you a nice long look at this because it is a gorgeous float. Take a look at this. Absolutely stunning.
Hey, they're performing live, by the way.
Are they?
Yeah.
you know what's so special about this group is it's all little girls. All little girls who are empowered to find their talents, whether it's through singing or whether it's through being part of the band, playing an instrument, offering support to the different acts that they do. It's a great group, and look at those little girls. They're having a great time.
What they're doing is loud enough that they are exciting the crowd for sure. Boy, I like the energy on that particular float. That's really what makes these parades so special. Is you see so many people on all of the floats doing what they can and just lifting the energy. All right, we're going to go back down to Maclovio Perez. He has been along the parade route in the crowd all night. Let's see what he's up to. Mac, are you there?
Okay, folks, we're coming up. Who is it? Who is it? Yes, it's Carroll High School. The Carroll Tigers are ready to go. Here they are. There should be a marching band here. Come here, Tigers. Come here, Tigers. Come here. So who's up there?
Carroll Tiger cheerleaders.
And who's back there?
The Tigerettes and the band.
And the band. I don't hear any noise.
They're
I don't hear any
coming.
sound.
They're
Okay.
coming.
All right, here they come. All right, here they come, folks. It's the Carroll Tigers. Tigerettes. I love Carroll. All right, the Tigerettes are here. They're ready to do a drill for us. You think? Oh, no. They're getting ready. Here it comes. The band's fired up. Here's the dance. There you have it, the Carroll Tiger Band. Toss it back to Mike and Jen. Back to you.
All right, there you have it, the Carroll High School Band, 120 band and 65 drill team members, led by director Joseph Rosales. And we're glad that they chose to stop right here near our broadcast center at Waco and Leopard Street.
So we've seen several of our high schools tonight. Of course, this is Carroll. We had John Paul II High School who was
West
here.
Oso
Miller, West Oso. Ray High School was out here earlier.
Now this by the way, is not a band. This
right here is the Freer Chamber of Commerce. They're with the Rattlesnake Roundup. And boy, is that a nice looking float right there. That float is. They say their float salutes the Freer Chamber of Commerce. Again, it's the Rattlesnake Roundup. The festival, the Roundup, if you've never actually been out there, it features, they have plenty of live music. They have great food, of course, and those snake shows. So they actually have the live rattlesnakes that are out there.
They've got a lot of their rattlesnake royalty there on the float. A lot of Little Miss and Queens and things like that. And they look like they're certainly having a great time being part of our Buc Days Parade. That's a great thing about this parade is there are so many other groups from all over South Texas that come up here to be a part of this. And you have seen some of them tonight. You have seen just a lot of folks who, well, like these folks, who are making their way through here with the crowds in those interesting-looking cars. Now, this is the South Texas Slings.
That's what it is, right? So, okay, so these, they say they are a group of fun-loving slingshot owners. So, Mike, I'm not sure if you're familiar with these cars. I'm guessing it's called a slingshot. So that's the cars that we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
And they say they just want to show their support for the community, and they decided to get their slingshots all nice and shined up and to be part of the Buc Days Night Parade tonight. Those look like they would be a lot of fun to be in.
Yeah, it does. In fact, I saw we've got somebody that lives close to us there that has one of those, and my kids keep wanting me to stop so they can get a picture. We may just absolutely do that. Now, it is Cinco de Mayo, and so we are celebrating festival kinds of things here in the parade.
Ballet Folklorico Viva Mexico float. Look at that. Let's give you a second just to listen. This kind of makes me want to dance now, Mike. I've kind of been moving all night. This really has got me going now.
You know, if we didn't have a whole lot more parade to go, I might be convinced to walk on down there and get on that float.
So these ballet dancers, they are part of the Viva Mexico group, and they're dedicated to preserving and enhancing the beauty of authentic Mexican folklorico dancing, and they often share their dance. They feel like it really is an art form, and so they put on many shows for the general public. Tonight they are under the direction of Cynthia Arredondo.
All right. Hey, we do want to take a moment here to thank some of our sponsors for helping us as we bring to you live coverage of the Buc Days Night Parade. And that would certainly include Andrews Distributing. We're going to thank them for sponsoring this part of the broadcast of the Navy Army Night Parade. Andrews Distributing, a big part of what we're able to do here.
Mike, we had Oasis Motor Company. They're one of our fantastic sponsors tonight, so thank you to them. Of course, also Navy Army Community Credit Union. We thank you guys for being part of us, of our live broadcast tonight, helping us to make this possible.
All right, and we've got some more cars. You know, we had Mustangs earlier in the parade. These do not look like Mustangs to me. They look like, well, Cadillacs and all kinds of things.
So this is the Leal Brothers custom paint and body.
Well, that certainly has a custom paint job.
Off those gorgeous paint jobs. That is nice work right there. So
look at the rims on those things and the fact that they move.
Leal
so
Brothers
smooth.
Custom paint and body, part of tonight's parade.
Hey, if you need a paint job, go by and see them. Leal Brothers, they would love to have you. They could trick up your ride just like that. Oh, you got to have a convertible in the parade. That's, I think, probably one of the first convertibles I've seen come by here. I like that. Do you mind if I borrow that on the weekends? I got some things I could do if you'd let me have that.
So it's about 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 6 of these cars that are part of it. And so we're giving you, there we go. We've got our photographer, Mike Salazar, who is live along Leopard Street out there with a camera. And he's kind of giving us just a closer look at one of these custom cars that's out there.
I'm just kind of guessing here, but I think probably you don't run those through the automatic car wash,
I guess you do not. No, this is strictly for hand washing only.
And they don't get out that much. You see them at special events like this parade, and, well, when you see the intricacy and the detail there, you certainly understand why.
You know, the people who have these cars, we know they put a lot of time and effort to really get them into great shape. They're very proud of the cars that they have out there, so it's nice to get to show them off to the community a little bit here.
Yeah, there's even a truck going by there with it's about to lose its back end. I wonder if he knows that. Somebody should probably tell him that. All right, if you look down beyond the custom cars there and you see another float coming up, this is the Luling Watermelon Thump Association. This lovely float from Luling proudly salutes the 64th anniversary of the famous Luling Watermelon Thump. You've got the reigning queen there overlooking her court on the front section of the float. Full-scale pump jacks found throughout Luling are represented there as well. By the way, if you're wondering when is the Luling Watermelon Thump,
when is it, happening Mike?
the last Thursday through Sunday of June, and of course, taking place in
I know
Luling.
where I will be that last weekend, all right?
All right.
Well, hey, we are right at about, I think we've got about maybe 1/3, maybe 30 more floats that are going to be part of
they are
tonight's
still coming
parade.
on.
So we probably have a good 30 more minutes of our live coverage for you. And so far, these floats have just been fantastic. It is loud and it is lively tonight here along Leopard Street.
Absolutely it is. And you've got some more folks in cowboy hats sitting on hay bales. So I'm wondering if they have anything to do with the Nueces County Junior Livestock Show, maybe some of the other shows here in the area. These are some folks that come on by here and just really enhance what you're able to see here in this parade tonight. We're glad that they're a part of it. Everybody give a big wave right there. I saw My Country 107.3 go by just a moment ago. They're a part of that club. And looks like this is the Nueces County Sheriff's Office that's actually making its way down Leopard Street here now through our part of the parade. You're looking at the command unit, patrol unit, and a few of the marchers from the good folks over at the Nueces County Sheriff's Office. A lot of them are working tonight. These lucky folks get to walk in the parade.
Yes, they do. And of course, we saw that Sheriff Jim Kalin was early on in the parade. He was with some of our local dignitaries, city council members, Mayor Joe McComb also. So Sheriff Kalin was part of the early part of our Buc Days Parade tonight.
Tell you what, these folks know how to make a lot of noise,
Yes, they
and they're
do.
doing it right here in front of our broadcast center. We're just going to wave at them because I can't hear anything else that's going on, and probably neither can you. And right on cue, they stop. All right, glad to have those folks in uniform in line here at the 81st annual Buc Days Night
All right, a
Parade.
nice showing tonight from the Nueces County Sheriff's Office. We're always glad to have them here with us. Several of their units are with us tonight, so big thank you to them.
Now,
for
right
being with
on
us
their
tonight.
heels, you've got yet another high school that's represented in the Buc Days Parade. This is the King High School Band, and they are going to make their way down where we are right now. 130 band and 45 drill team members, and I think I saw Mac trying not to get run over.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. I know we're going to go back out to Mac live here in just a second once he is set up so that he can give us a closer look of the King High School Band. I know it's a lot of members. It's including drill team and band members
All
as
right,
well.
Mac, tell us what you're seeing down there if you could. Get somebody to talk to.
Okay. Tell me who's up next.
This is King High School Royalettes.
All right. Are you the teacher?
Yes.
Are you the the dance director?
Yes.
This is the drill team.
Drill team.
Tell us, where have they been lately?
Actually, we just got back from San Antonio. They went to competition, and they won national titles.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What are they doing? Just a standard drill for a parade?
Yeah, standard drill dancing.
Now, behind them is the pink shirts. Who are they?
Oh, those are the future Royalettes for next year's team.
All right.
So
are
we
these
invited
just
them.
seniors or juniors?
No, we have freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
But these are the ones coming up.
Yes.
Really, dude? Here they come, ladies and gentlemen, the King High School Marching Band. There you see it, the King High School Marching Band. I'm going to go up to the clarinets. Oh, here are the flutes. That is it from Leopard Street. We'll toss it back to Mike and Jen. I'm going to march with the King Band.
All All right, there you have it. The King High School Band making all kinds of beautiful marching music tonight, and I'm so glad that they have taken advantage of the fact that this is a night parade by lighting up in green.
They did a great job lighting themselves up. I noticed even the insides, like the kind of inner part of the tubas, were lit up in green lights as well.
Absolutely. Director Aiden Molina, proud to bring the King High School Band through the Buc Days Parade, and we're glad that we were able to bring them to you live tonight.
Up next, I believe we have some presents from the Del Mar College.
There they are. It takes a Viking. That's what they say. And Del Mar College has plenty of them out tonight. You can tell, again, by the big Viking hats.
Hey, and I'm proud of Del Mar College. I went to school there.
You did, and you did. The Viking himself, Valdar, accompanied by other Viking students, showcasing what dreams are made of. And if you'll look in just a moment, you're going to see followed behind them. In fact, even right there on the float, that's a squad of future Vikings. Already making plans to be a part of the good things happening at Del Mar. And they recently...
I'm hearing Selena music again.
Yeah, that's what I was
going to be coming up. So once it gets here, folks, we will definitely let you get a closer, clearer listen
there
in
you
on
go,
that.
there you go. And they are dancing their way. Again, these are the future Vikings dancing their way down the parade routes. All right, you're taking a live look now at the float brought to you, I believe, by United Healthcare. Some good folks over there who deal with a lot of folks in our community on a daily basis. United Healthcare bringing you their float. And there's the big calling card right there. United Healthcare, Medicare, and Retirement, all decked out in blue and white tonight at our live Buc Days Parade.
So many people, including us with KRISTV, we've all been so excited, waiting for tonight's big Buc Days parade and celebration. But once this is over, the fun doesn't stop. The Buc Days Carnival is in full swing. That's going on all the way through Sunday of Mother's Day. And they've got so many things going on at the carnival this year. They're going to have several different acts that are going to be performing. I know that there's going to be, we mentioned earlier that Roger Krager is going to be there.
He's going to be down at the big stage.
Yeah, he's going to be there next weekend. So you've got an opportunity to go check out him out there. Clarissa Cerna is going to be performing. They've got several opportunities, and plus they also have a movie night that's going to be next Friday, May 11th, and so their movie that night is going to be The Sandlot, and that starts at, starts right at 8:30 p.m. next Friday. And of course, if you want more information on any of this, just go to our website, KRISTV.com.
All right, you're seeing a lot of good folks come by. BCFS, Health and Human Services. That's the folks you see there with the lighted tree on their lighted parade floats. Those are the folks, by the way, if you're wondering what they do, they help to prevent child abuse, and they promote child abuse awareness. And so we're glad for them in our community. We're also glad for all of these folks who have come down to...
I'm really getting a kick out of it because I see that as our live cameras are kind of panning down Leopard Street, the people who are sitting out here, once the light gets onto them, so many people get shy and they don't want to be on camera, but then they kind of, they start coming out. They give us a big wave.
Take the light off and they are down here dancing in the streets. Hey, this is a good time for us to once again thank just a few of our sponsors. That would certainly include the folks over at Oasis Motor Company. We're glad that they've chosen to sponsor this live broadcast of the Buc Days Navy Army Night Parade.
Also, Navy Army Community Credit Union, thank you guys. Thanks to them for also helping to sponsor a portion of our broadcast tonight.
And we do want to mention that, again, a part of this is brought to you by Trevino Funeral Home. We're grateful that they have sponsored this live broadcast of the Navy Army Night Parade. Now, if you can't, if you're looking at the folks, it looks like that folks are kind of thinning out there. They're not. I think some folks have gone to the bathroom.
Right.
A lot of them have changed positions, but we have not lost any of the crowd. And really, why would we? Because there is still so much of this parade left to go.
Yeah, we still have, I think it's somewhere around 20 to 25 more floats that are going to make their way along Leopard Street. And again, you know, this is a long parade route. It gets started, the main staging area, the beginning area is out near Buck Stadium. So that's where all the floats are lined up. And it becomes a really, really busy and chaotic area, but those Buccaneers really do a great job of keeping it under control.
I think we've got another dance studio coming by, Hidden Language if I am not
Language Dance
mistaken.
Studio.
That might be who that is coming through there. I kept looking to see about any of those folks were dancing. A couple of them look too tired to dance.
Their dance crew is 6 adults, and then they also have a team of 12 other dancers. So we're glad to have them with us tonight. And all these people who you see that are walking along the parade route, as I was saying, it starts out there at Buc Stadium, and it goes all the way down to where basically Water's Edge Park, to pretty close to where the carnival is going on.
Yeah.
So they have quite the walk, and they actually started walking right around 8 p.m.
And the
when
crowds
the
never thin out.
Moving.
I mean, there are crowds all along that route that they get to perform for,
Yeah.
that they get to talk to and cheer for. And look at that guy. You know, I haven't been that limber in years.
He's got energy, that's for sure. Great energy. And you know, Mike, we're getting right to the 10 p.m. hour. This parade is still going strong.
All right, we're looking there at the Jordanton High School band, all the way from Jordanton.
So let's send things out to Mac. Let's see if he can give us a closer look. Hey, Mac.
We hope you're enjoying this Buc Days Parade, Illuminated Night Parade. We're having fun, and look, there's more bands coming. This one's from Jordanton, Texas. You know, Jordanton is up the road, so we welcome them down here to the Coastal Bend. Let's listen to what they've got. I'm gonna go in.
Sorry about that, dude. I'm tired. You're not playing. Oh, I did. I'm tired. You that guy.
All right, we may not get Maclovio back. I think he's found a band he really, really likes. And the fact that the Jordanton band is in our Buc Days Parade, again, emphasizes the idea that there are so many organizations and groups from across South Texas that come up just to be a part of this. It's that big, folks.
It really is. And so, again, of course, a big thank you. Let's see who it is that's honking and making so much noise behind us right now. All right.
Yeah, the Miracle League, that red, white. There's some blue even in there. They are part of the Miracle League, and they are in our Buc Days Parade tonight. Hello, everybody. Give them a big wave.
We've got another dance team who's with us. This is the Collegiate High School Extreme Dance Team. They are 30 members that are part of this Extreme Dance Team.
I think they lost some of their members along the way.
Yeah, I mean, by now they've been walking for a solid 2 hours and probably dancing the whole time. So, and look, they're still at it.
They
so
are at it.
High School Dance Team.
And getting a good hand from the crowd there. A lot of folks are enjoying them. They got that cool-looking Jeep following them, by the way, lighting up the way as they do their thing, dancing their way down Leopard Street as a part of our Buc Days Parade. By the way, they had a trophy. I don't know if we mentioned it, but they were holding up a trophy in the back of that truck over there. And so apparently they picked up one along the way.
And, you know, the Buccaneers, they give trophies to the best floats in several different categories, and I know for sure there's a media category, and I'm very proud to say, Mike, that our Chris 6 News float, which was a themed of Cinco de Mayo, we won first place in that category this year.
I wonder if there is a vehicle category, because here comes another group. We had Mustangs. This is the Jeep Addictions group, and so we've got 8, 9, 10 Jeeps from that group. It's a Jeep club based out of Corpus Christi, and they say, if you ask them to describe themselves, they say they love to go to the beach and they love to go wheeling.
I can actually vouch for that because I've been at the beach before, and it is a sight to see because you get onto the beach, you start driving down looking for your spot to kind of set up. And I've seen this troop of Jeeps all parked side by side, and it's pretty impressive.
Hasn't every young person wanted a Jeep at one time or another? That's just kind of one of those dreams that if you can knock it off of your bucket list in life, then consider yourself fortunate. These folks certainly do that, and they always get together, and we're glad to have them in the Buc Days Parade tonight. All right, what are we coming up to next year?
All right, I believe we're going to have a float here coming up very soon.
All right, let's go back and thank some of our sponsors here because, again, we have a lot of folks who are making it possible for us to be able to do what what we do here tonight.
All right, Mike, yeah, as we're waiting for our next float to kind of get to our area, we want to say a big thank you tonight to Bishop RV Sales, Parts, and Service. Thank you to them for sponsoring a portion of our broadcast this evening. And also, thank you to the Cantwell Mattress Company. Guys, over at Cantwell Mattress, we thank you for your support tonight.
That's right. So many sponsors stepped up when they found out that we were doing this, and being able to broadcast for the first time in so many years this Navy Army Night Parade. We had a lot of folks who thought that would be a good idea, and they were looking for ways to help out, and so we're certainly glad that they have chosen to be a part of our broadcast tonight. There's a live look down Leopard Street at what's happening here in the Buc Days Night Parade, and there are some of the folks at the RTA building that are enjoying the night parade.
The RTA, I think it may have been last year that it was their first year when they set up an opportunity for members of the community who didn't want to have to camp out to grab their parade watch spot. You can actually reserve a spot there at the RTA building. You pay a small fee. I want to say something like about maybe around $10, and you get a reserved spot right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And what better vantage point than right there at the RTA building that's just across the street from where we are as we're looking at more entries coming along. I mentioned earlier that we had not seen any convertibles, and then here in the span of about 5 minutes, we've got our second convertible coming through here.
All right, I'm hearing them kind of broadcast out there. This is the Hot Z95, 95.5 KZFM float that we're getting to right here.
All right,
it's a
there they are.
locally owned and operated radio station here in town.
Hey, I know that guy.
And I see they have a trophy.
Corpus What's up over there?
That's the folks from Z95.
All right, I saw somebody on that Hot Z95 float. They had a trophy, so there you go, another trophy winner tonight.
95.5 KZFM, locally owned and operated, and we're glad to see them come by where we are here
All right,
in the
let's see
parade.
who's got next. The CCPD Auto Theft Task Force is our next float coming by. So these are the folks who work hard year-round to try to keep your car from being stolen.
You know who that is right there? Officer Blue is who we're looking at. Officer Blue, there on the Auto Theft Task Force float. That's a favorite with the kids right there. Officer Blue. All right, coming up next, I see some folks with basketball, so that must mean this is the
Corpus Christi Elite Basketball.
Yeah, CC Elite Youth Basketball. They are a D2 competitive basketball organization. And of course, rather than just teaching basketball skills, they teach life skills, things that happen not only on the court, but off as well. All right, we're going to go back down to Maclovio Perez. He is there where he has been all night, right in the middle of everything that's happening on street level. Mac?
Okay, are you ready? It's time for the Moody Trojans. Here they are, here they are. Come here. Who's this? Who's this? Look at this. Look at this. Look who we have here. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Right there. Smile. Hey, it's the Trojan. All right, here they come. Here they come. It's the Moody Trojans. 4H Moody High School. Let's do it.
That's the Moody High School Trojan Band. I have heard that played so many times at football games, high school football games in the fall.
You know, it's one of my favorite parts about football season because you get to the stadium, the high school football stadiums, and that band and that drum line starts playing. It's like a little rush you get being out there. You know it's about to be a great
They've
game.
got more than 150 members who are a part of Moody High School's band there, and again, just doing a great job, as all of the bands who have made their way down the parade tonight along
So I think
Leopard.
with Moody now, that means all of the high school bands, local high school bands, with the exceptions of Veterans Memorial.
Yeah, we haven't seen veterans, but we've seen every one of them has been represented here and has done a fantastic job. Now, getting back to that Cinco de Mayo fiesta theme, we've got some more of that fiesta music coming up behind me right here. And they've got a trophy as well, and I don't doubt it. Look at that.
All right, so this right here, the float is La Comparsa Temporal Veracruz. I'm hoping that I pronounced everything correctly there. Now they're celebrating the Mexican holiday Dia de los Muertos. We're just gonna take a listen real quick. Traditional costumes that are traditional Dia de los Muertos right there, the Day of the Dead, of course. Now, each of the masks they have is hand carved in Veracruz, Mexico, and they say it takes about 3 weeks to make each of these handcrafted masks. And so you kind of see some of the familiar characters that are often featured in the Academy, or that have been featured in the Academy Award-winning movie of Coco.
Yeah,
so
what a great movie that was. And this is a very impressive deal. I'm glad that they were able to pick up one of the trophies there. I've really enjoyed watching that. Wish they could stay here for a while. So fantastic job there, and did a great job. Okay, what are we looking at here?
Let's see.
Is this the Sisters of the Dance? Is that who we got there? Well, they're certainly dancing, and they certainly look like sisters. So we're going to go ahead and we're probably going to go with that.
I'd say that's about right.
Sisters of the Dance, I think.
There
There they are. They are a fusion dance group that performs locally at community events. You'll see them at nursing homes, schools, and of course, parades, just like this one. They say the ladies all made and decorated their Buccaneer float with a little help from husbands and children. We're glad they pitched in. All right, let's see here. We've got another colorful float certainly coming through there. Is this the San Patricio and Aransas County Livestock Show? It's hard for me to see right around that corner there, but I think that's who it is.
It looks nice and colorful, so we're going to give you another, there we go, a little bit of a closer shot right there.
Yeah, well, that's a festive looking float.
This one actually, let's see.
Is that one of the media floats, maybe? I'm not real sure at this point.
That one says La Caliente right there.
Yeah,
so,
my home team, 98.3.
98.3, their local radio station. So very well done float there. It looks nice.
That's right. We've got several of those entries that are like that here in the parade.
And hey, Mike, let's send things over to Mac again. I believe he has got something for us to look at real quick.
And if you think that was all, don't forget the Veterans Memorial High School Marching Band. Here they are in their second or third year of marching. Here they go. It's the Eagles. It's the Eagles. And here they come. It's a Starline dance team. The dance team coming up. Here they go. Veterans Memorial High School Eagle Band. And don't forget, it's the Screaming Eagles.
I can't do this on my own. Hey, someone watching this shit close. Yep, close. I've been me since Scarlet Road.
For nothing, folks. There.
Final high school.
That is Veterans Memorial High School.
Screaming Eagle Band.
So we're glad to have them there tonight, and boy, what a great job that they, and again, all of our high school bands have done in being here in the Buc Days Parade. What is that? That's That's a good-looking vehicle, whatever it is. I'm impressed. Okay. Oh, look at all the trophies on this thing.
Well, Mike, I have to let our viewers know we're quickly approaching the end of our parade. We have only a handful of floats remaining. And hey, I see a lot of people that still have trophies in hand. So glad that the people's hard work of spending time on their floats really paid off. It's nice to be rewarded.
It is nice to be rewarded, and it is nice to know that, again, they are doing this for the people who not only are out here tonight, but also the people who are watching us at home there on KRIS 6. Now, I think we're looking at...
Okay, so this is the Miss Teen Corpus Christi
Latina
group right there.
Yeah.
So Miss Corpus Christi Latina right there. And some of the other pageant winners are on top of these convertibles as well. So
that's right.
That's the Miss Corpus Christi Teen Latina right there, the pageant winner.
Some of these floats and some of these entrants in the parade are as much of a surprise to us as they are to you. And so you're seeing about what we see, and as we try to figure out just who it is we're looking at, we're
Mike,
giving
let's
you that.
take a look at this. We've got another car club that is involved. This is the Alternative Car Club. 6 cars are part of tonight's display with their floats, so to speak. So we're just going to give you a second to look at these.
Bet you can't do that. That thing's lit up nicely on the inside as well.
Alternative Car Club.
I keep waiting for somebody to pop out of the back end of one of those cars. I think that would just kind of put the icing on the cake for us there. Look at the, hey, did you see the wheels on that thing?
Yeah.
That's what makes this Buc Days Night Parade so special. Right there, you see a diversity of different entrants and floats that come through this parade. All of them representing the culture and diversity of our Corpus Christi coastal Bend community. Yeah, people seem to be liking this.
All right, this is Reliant right here. We're so glad that Reliant decided to go ahead and enter and be part of tonight's parade. It's nice to have them as an entry here, and they've got a few of their people who are out there walking along the route.
Certainly do, and again, we're glad to have them there, and they are just part of what makes this parade be the parade that it is. And again, we want to remind everybody that we're bringing you this here live on KRIS 6, the first time in many years, but we would not be able to do that were it not for so many of our sponsors who are here. Want to give a big thank you to Trout Trucking and J&B Bavelka for sponsoring our live broadcast of the parade.
All right, guys, so I think we are right at the end of the 81st annual Buc Days Night Parade. We want to give a big thank you to Andrews Distributing, one of our many sponsors who helped us to get this live broadcast on the air for you tonight. Live broadcasting of Buc Days Navy Army Night Parade.
All right, those look like those Buck Raiders. I guess
That's
that they
right.
already did their job at the other end of the parade, so now they.
And so, Mike, all of the honking you're hearing is Apollo Towing. They are the tail end of our parade tonight.
They started the parade tonight.
Yes, they started it, and they are ending it tonight.
Apollo Towing.
annual Buc Days Night Parade, and boy did it end with quite the bang, so to speak. You can still hear them going. That is Apollo Towing, bringing our floats. We had about just over 100 floats tonight that were part of the parade, and I have to say my hat's off to everyone who participated. Really fantastic.
They are. Lots of folks in fancy dresses and great looking costumes tonight. A lot of hard work went into putting on this parade once again, and from what we have seen, from what we've been able to enjoy, number 81 was as good as any of them, I'll tell you that.
All right, well, we here at Chris 6 are so happy to be able to have this opportunity to bring you the live parade. A big thank you to all of our sponsors, and a big thank you to you and our community who took time out of your night to join us. From all of us here at Chris 6, we thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
All right, have a great night. We'll see you again soon.